What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 11 of Vinyl Bang. I'm Metal Nick.
I am Jeffrey P. Grindstoffer. Don't ask me what the P stands for because it pisses me off.
And we're going to do something a little different today before we start today's episode. Unfortunately, this morning we got some awful news that a great friend of ours, Blake Harrison, passed away. Blake was an ex-member of Pig Destroyer, but a very close friend of both me and Jeff over the years. Hooked Jeff and I up with some very close, very deep insider information on Pig Destroyer pre-orders. Hooked us up with a lot of guest list spots, getting us backstage and stuff. Jeff, the list goes on for you. I know you've gotten a lot of great memories with Blake there.
A lot of great memories with Blake. Blake was a close friend since the first day we met in 2013. He's always referred to me as family. Like whenever I would go to see Pig Destroyer, he'd always like throw merch at me. And there was one time whenever I was with the band in Chicago, they played a show in Chicago, and I bought a hoodie, like while the band was on stage or something. I bought a hoodie, and I told Blake after the show, and he said, "Hey guys, Grindstoffer bought a hoodie, ha ha ha," and everybody laughed at me for giving him money. Like it wasn't funny. I was trying to help the guys out. They're always giving me free shit, so I figured I'd buy something whenever they couldn't tell me no. You know? But yeah, Blake is going to be missed tremendously. Blake was
an extremely generous dude, like you said.
No, I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about him ever. I mean, everybody that knows Blake just knows how generous he was, how approachable he was. Whether you wanted him to be or not, he was approaching you and talking, and Blake was. I love him.
Yeah,
great guy.
Great absolutely.
Friend. Great friend.
So before we start tonight's episode, we're gonna pay tribute to Blake real quick and share a couple of our albums that we got of Blake that some of you may or may not know about. Jeff, you want to kick things off here? I know you got some really cool ones on you.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of pieces because we could go for hours talking about Blake and his music projects, but we both picked two in particular. One of the first one that I'm going to go with is, I don't know if it's order of importance or not, but a band that definitely flew under the radar even whenever they were active, and I don't think they've been active for a while. I think they've just kind of hung it up. Zealot R.I.P. This band is just stupid ridiculous. Blake provided the vocals for this project. It also featured member of
Mike Schleibaum of Darkest Hour. Jason Hammerker of, oh man, I'm drawing a blank, but Jason was in a bunch of bands.
Jason's been in a bunch of bands throughout the years, a lot of underground bands, and he's big in the scene.
Frodus, I think is one.
Yeah. A super group of sorts, but this their one and only album released on 3-1G. These 7 songs, calculating in at about, I don't know, under 20 minutes, I think, except for Covered in Flies. Covered in Flies, I think, is like 20 minutes just because of the middle part where they just hit the reverb and, you know, whatever. The live shows were incredible because during the live shows, Jason would take his kit apart and throw it into the crowd and then go out in the crowd and put it all back together and then finish the song in the crowd. fun fucking band. They were a blast to watch live. I don't, was it their first? No, their first show, like they played in an art gallery or some shit. But Melanie and I, my wife and I, drove out to Baltimore to see Zealot opened up the weekend of Pig Destroyer shows that they played at the Metro Gallery.
Yep.
The Metro Gallery in Baltimore. Pig Destroyer did 2 nights, and they had different opening bands every night. And one of the opening nights, Zealot opened. Mike broke his headstock at that show. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. Oh, Mike, yes. Yeah, I do. I do remember that. Remember that.
It was towards the end of the set. I think it was during Ambush Predator or something. But,
I do remember that now.
Yeah. Mike cracked his headstock, which was like, holy shit, I've never seen that happen before. And I've got a set list for this show and just all kinds of other shit. But yeah, this is an album that definitely went under the radar. That is worth your worth your while if you're looking for some new music. Blake on vocals. I've listened to this all day since I heard the news about Blake. It's sad. I'm gonna miss him. The next album I'm gonna feature is the latest. Was it the latest one from Hatebeak? I know it was. They did a couple splits with I can't even. I didn't do research. It's been a rough day. I haven't done research on these albums. But the day that the Hatebeak album, The Number of the Beak, was released, the day the pre-orders were released, I pre-ordered everything: the CD, the cassette, all 15 vinyl, everything. And I don't. My test press is up there. Nick
Yeah.
bought me a test press from. Where'd you get that from?
I believe it was on eBay when I saw it.
It was on eBay or something.
I think the last thing they did was a split with Borgloo.
That's right.
Birdhouse by the Cemetery.
Birdhouse by the Cemetery. But as far as solo albums, this is the last one that Hatebeak did. Hatebeak is a project with a bird vocalist, Waldo, the African gray hair something. I don't even know what kind of bird Waldo is, but Waldo makes an appearance in like Issues of Decibel, which was Blake reviewing albums, and he would give pecks as to how good the album was. A certain amount of pecks, like 3 pecks for half good or half decent album or whatever. But yeah, this album is fun. Like Hatebeak was never my favorite Blake project, but it is an interesting listen for sure to hear a bird vocalist, and just it's fun. It's just all around fun. This album means a lot to me because I am thanked in the liner notes. I know you can't really see right there. G. Stouffer, GSTPA.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah. Jizzery. Oh, yeah. Jizzery Chindex, Longmont, Potion Castle. I mean, my name is amongst royalty here. But whenever I saw my name in the liner notes for the Hatebeak album, that's
great, dude.
Yeah, Grindstuffer, only without the grind, without the rind, I guess. Grindstuffer without the rind. So these 2 albums in particular mean a lot to me, and that's aside from the debut album that he had with Pig Destroyer, Phantom Limb, which is again my favorite Pig Destroyer album. Yeah, that's my tribute to Blake.
No, for real, that's great stuff there. I didn't know you were featured in the thank yous there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was pleased with that, and I sent him a text, thanking him, and he, whatever.
For sure. All right, so I got 2 really some throwbacks here. First off, you can see the shirt I'm wearing. This is Triac. Triac is a pretty famous grindcore power violence band from Baltimore. A lot of people should know who they are if you listen to grindcore. If not, shame on you. When this band started off, Blake was their singer. Back in 2003, there was a show at the Magruder Grindhouse in Bethesda, Maryland, which was pretty close to where I used to work. And it's supposed to be Misery Index, Magruder Grind, and Triac. And I remember going there that day and meeting Richard Johnson of Agoraphobic Nosebleed, and I sat there and punished him with questions. But another person I met that day was Blake Harrison of Triac, and he gave me this demo that day. You can see it's a CD, actually. It's not anything. It's very self-released. It comes in like a little sleeve from like a CD case. For those of you who don't recognize what that is, one of those CD binders, actually. In the liner notes, it's got the songs "Landfill," "This Means the Ethical Purity," "Cudgel," and "You're the Figure of God." All songs by Triac, and at the very end it says 100% trigger free. And let me see. Oh yeah, I still do have them in here. There's a couple of Triac stickers.
Nice.
Came in there, but Yeah, this was the original Triac demo. A lot of people, I think, know them for like all the other stuff they've done. Like they've had a couple singers over the years, and I think now it's just like the everybody who's in the band who participates in the band does vocals. But in this album, it was Jake Krager, and I don't know if Richard Johnson was on it. He was playing bass for them when I saw them. Blake was on vocals, and I don't remember who was on guitar, to be honest with you. But Jake Krager's still in the band. He's a drummer. I say this all the time. That guy is like the human drum machine. He's amazing, an amazing drummer. If you've ever seen that guy play, you'll scratch your head because he's something else. He's a lot like what's our boy's name? Chris Moore. Just one insanely good drummer. But the other thing that I got of Blake that I want to share is a band that a lot of people should know. A lot of old schoolers should know Blake from is a band called Daybreak. This was a 7-inch picture disc that came out in 1999 on Reptilian Records called Frozen Winter Realms of My Moonlit Record Collection. I guess it's a compilation of all the stuff that they put out. If you see on there, that's the other side. That's Blake right there.
Yeah, can't miss him.
Young Blake.
Yeah, full head of hair. Boy, he was a kid.
And I guess this is Tony from Celebrated. I guess that is Tony, right? Yeah. I don't know any of these other people in the picture. And then I know if they're watching this, they'll probably be angry. But you know, that's our boy Blake right there, young handsome Blake, that handsome devil. This record came in this nice little package. There's pictures of them. Blake's on bass. So that's him on the far right in the white shirt.
Mm-hmm.
On the left, I'm sorry. And then this back picture, I don't know if they're dressed up like from the movie Dead Presidents or one, but this is at the original Auto Bar. And that's Blake on the far left. You can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony from Municipal Waste, he posted a picture of him and a couple of the guys from Daybreak and him and young Blake, and they're both really young in that photo today on Instagram. And yeah, you know, like it's a shocker. This is the other side of the picture disc. It's nothing. But
very cool.
Yeah, Daybreak was like a grindcore punk band that Blake was in. That I guess they did a lot of stuff. I is the only thing I really own of theirs. But every other week, me and Blake go to a record store in Baltimore called Celebrated Summer, and Tony, who was in Daybreak with Blake, he owns and runs that store, and he's usually there. He buys and trades and sells a lot of our records. And yeah, it's unfortunate news to wake up to today. You know, Blake was a great pal of ours. You know, like I think Jeff, you were the first person I reached out to because I was driving and I was in shock there, but you know, I just want to give a quick shout out to his girlfriend Lindsay. You know, like she's, you know, a great friend of both of ours as well, and I can't imagine what she's dealing with. I've been chatting with her all day, and I know a lot of people have been reaching out to her too. But you know, from the bottom of my heart, you know, like I'm deeply sorry, especially to Blake's family. You know, this is just so unfortunate, and you know, I love that man to death. He was a great friend. Over the years, he hooked Jeff and I up with a lot of cool stuff, and he will be deeply missed.
He will for sure. Yeah, Blake was definitely one of a kind. And you know, people say that about, you know, loved ones or whatever, but he really was. Fucking guy was. He was incredible. He was incredible. He would hook us up with music whether we wanted it or not.
Oh yeah. One thing I absolutely love is he loves to give you his recommendations, and he'll take stuff. It's very hard to break through with him. And there's a band called Internal, which maybe one day I'll share some of their stuff. But I turned him on to that band, and he really got into that band.
Really,
one man project. Yeah. It's very, very cool stuff. So.
Showing Blake something like that's a chore.
He's a very hard. Yeah, he doesn't like too much new music. I can tell you that. People could wrap their head around that, but
and everything you like sucks.
Yeah,
You're a
Yeah, for
poser.
sure.
You're a poser.
That's
That
how he
man
is.
sucks. Like he would always give me shit about like in Faith No More. He's like they were better when Chuck Mosley was the vocalist. Like, really, dude? Like he just couldn't let it go. Um, um, real quick. I've had this CD sitting on my desktop forever. This is a Triac CD that Blake gave me at one point during our 11-year friendship. He just gave it to me one day. He's like, yeah, this is the album one of the albums that I was on as a vocalist. And okay, thanks, Blake, because as I said, whether you wanted it or not, and I love, hearing Blake's voice. And this was actually my first introduction to hearing Blake's voice, with you bringing up Triac and, all the old stuff. I got something to do. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to start our box sets episode. So sit tight.
Stick around. All right. Welcome back to Vinyl Bang. This episode, we are going to discuss box sets, different variations of collector's boxes from various artists in our collection. They are not necessarily full album box sets, but they are indeed in a box. So it's just,
In a box.
and they're limited edition, collector's editions. They come in a box.
They could be a discography or just one album, but it's in a box.
In a box. That's what we're doing. Box sets.
If we had samples, we'd play that that little clip of Brad Pitt from Seven.
Oh, what's in the box? Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
All right.
You've got some
around. All right.
Yeah, you got some treasures there, so let's go.
We gotta get into this. I gotta get some sleep. All right, so I am going to start off the box set episode with the newest box set that I have received in the last 6 months or so. Primus. This is titled The Revenant Juke, a collection of fables and farce. This was a collection that was released by Third Man Records last year. What this is a collection of the singles that Primus has released videos for throughout the years, and it is a collection of various 7-inches. Each 7-inch focuses around a particular album. The first, and the artwork for these things is awesome. This is from Frizzle Fry. This is John the Fisherman and Too Many Puppies. This is the artwork for
John the Fisherman.
First set of singles, which is really and each one is like, each vinyl is colored. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the second 7-inch is, of course, from Sailing the Seas of Cheese. This one features Jerry was a race car driver.
That's awesome.
Tommy the Cat. The artwork on these are just, they're incredible. I forget who the artist is, and I'm sure it's like in the notes that I just took out, but whatever. You know who you are. Good for you. The third comes from Pork Soda. This is actually Les from the video for My Name is Mud.
That is rad.
Awesome. Like, it's very it reminds me a lot of Shield Silverstein. Where the sidewalk ends, and the old comic or the old graphic novels that we had as kids. But the artwork for these is just incredible. I had to have these. Like, you had to have a subscription to Third Man Records in order to get this. And I signed up for the subscription, ordered the records, and then backed out because not a real big fan of the stuff that Third Man does. But anyway, that's a whole other episode. The next one comes from Tales from the Punch Bowl. This is Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Fuck yeah. Wow, dude. That is fucking shit. The record dropped.
Tearing shit up. The property or the value of that just dropped. Winona's Big Brown Beaver and Southbound Pachyderm. The next one is from the Brown album. This is Shake Hands with Beef.
Oh, that's great.
It is, right?
Holy
like I said, very
I've never seen any of this before. That's fucking awesome.
Just so awesome. And the last 7-inch is from the Anti-Pop album. This is the singles for this are the Anti-Pop and Coattails of a Dead Man.
Oh.
Just such an awesome box set, you know, like it's I try to collect as much Primus stuff as I can. You know, I've seen them, you know, 20 some odd times throughout the years, and just huge fan of this band. And whenever there was announced that they were doing a box set of
hold it up closer to the camera. Yeah. Okay. All right. That little image behind the jukebox is great, dude.
Yeah. I believe that's Les with the aluminum baseball bat.
Okay.
You know, whenever he was, you know, from My Name Is Mud. I believe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, this is a rad little collection. Has not been played. I just wanted this more for the aesthetic, you know, for the imagery, but
for sure,
definitely a rad piece of my collection.
I'm glad you brought up joining the Third Man little subscription there and then canceling, because we'll definitely talk about that this episode and not another. So moving on, I'm going to go with my first pick here, boxes. As soon as we talk about boxes, anytime I've done one of those vinyl challenges on Instagram, I always post this box. I'm very proud of this. This is the Carcass Casket Case. This came out in November of 2015 on Earache Records. It's got Reek, Symphonies, Necroticism, Heartwork, and Swan Song, all on clear vinyl. It's their first 5 albums, and there's only 100 of these pressed.
Oh my God.
This was the cover of it, if you can see. I don't know if it's all in there, but then you open it up, and there's just like so much space. So like, it's kind of poorly packaged by Earache. And here you go. I'm gonna spread them all out and drop all my records everywhere, but
don't drop them.
No. But I'll pull Reek out real quick and show you that it is a clear. Earache, I remember these going up for pre-order, and like I like sat there. I remember what job I was. I think I was delivering pizzas, but I remember like sitting there like waiting for this pre-order to go up, and it was the back.
That's right.
I remember waiting for it, and it within like seconds it sold out. I was so pissed off, and I emailed Earache. I was like, "Yo, this is bullshit, man. Like, you can't put these things up, and you know, like, it's just people like buy too much of them." And the guy told me multiple people bought 2, and it said in the thing you can only buy 1. But for some reason, the people who set it up didn't made it so they can buy multiples. So they had to reject a couple of orders and refund people, but some others went up, and he told me, he's like, "This one's yours." So he sold it to me. I really do not remember how much I paid for it, but this does go for a lot of money. I've seen a few times on Discogs, but yeah, Carcass is one of my favorites. That's a nice little piece to have in my collection. I love that band a lot, and you know, it almost feels like a relapse out of 100 on clear vinyl thing, but yeah. It's good stuff. Nice little box set to have in my collection.
For sure. I don't remember. I've never seen that before. That's all the whole thing you just did is all brand new to me.
Yeah.
Did they do different pressings, or was it all just clear one time 100?
One time on clear. One time on clear. Because they've Earache does that. Like recently, they've done stuff where there was like Domination by Morbid Angel, and it had like the cover had like this like green slime like inside of like the cover. They did one I saw one for Necroticism with Blood, and they also did, I think, Covenant with Blood by Morbid Angel. But like they put them up and sold out super quick, and it's just like, you know, it's like those vinyls that have like the clear the liquid in the side. But I think Eric is notorious for doing stuff like that. I think if you look through other bands' discographies, you'll see that there's a lot of stuff like that out there. But it's Carcass, man. Like, how could you, you know, like I said, I was like, I love their stuff, and it's just a nice piece to have in my collection. A couple years ago, I finally like broke open all because they were sealed inside of there, and I popped that, you know, ripped them all out so they didn't warp or anything. But
right. I wonder if they left so much space in the box, like for future albums. Maybe. And the reason why I say that, Tomahawk did a box set that I'm not doing in the episode, but Tomahawk did a box set whenever they only had 3 albums, and they did that specifically, or they left enough space for the 4th album, which was coming out like 6 months or a year later or something. And they left enough room for the next album to be put into the box.
That's cool.
Yeah, they only had the self-titled Met Goss, Anonymous, and they left room for the Oddfellows vinyl to be put into the box.
I think you're actually going to do a box in this episode where a particular band did the same thing. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But moving forward, why don't you talk about your next box?
No, I want to know what you're talking about. What are you? No, this next one, the one that I'm going to do next, is a 2-parter. Two of these. Two of the. I don't know if you saw that or not. But this particular box, there were the initial run. There were 250 of these boxes released, and they were sold empty. It was just the box. You had to buy the album.
This is exactly what I was talking about, by the way.
Oh. Well, that ruined the whole thing. I thought I was going to be surprised with something you had.
No.
All right. Well, anyway, the empty box sets, the empty boxes were sold early in 2000 something. 2020. I don't even remember when this fucking thing came out. No. When did it come out? 2014. 2014. They were these albums were released from the year 2004 to 2014. I am talking about the Cattle Decapitation Decade of Decapitation box set. Now, these boxes, like I said, were released or were sold initially empty, and you had to buy the albums to go with it. For Record Store Day in 2014, you were able to buy a complete box. I mean, I didn't need to because I already had them, but I mean, I guess that was an option for you to spend all of the money all at once to have all of the albums included in the box set. Now, the initial run of these, Metal Blade Records did a run of U.S. pressings and a run of European pressings, hence why I have 2 box sets, because one has the European pressings and the other has the United States pressings. And the albums featured on this are To Serve Man, Humanure. Isn't that what I said? Humanure? Bloody Karma.
Bloody Karma.
The Harvest Floor. And Monolith of Inhumanity. Awesome albums. All around awesome albums. And I'm going to open just one of them randomly, and I can't tell. I really, without getting into the notes to figure out which one's which. The only thing I did not like about this release, and I bitched to Travis about it, whenever they put the hype stickers on, they put it on the vinyl. They put it on the actual jacket. That sticker is stuck. There's one of them that I tried taking off, that I tried to maneuver taking it off, and I wasn't successful, and it pissed me off, and I quit doing it, and now it looks like shit. But here we are. One thing I forgot about this box set, whichever this is European or U.S. pressings, look at that. Number 4.
Fuck yeah. Is that a
200? Huh?
That's a 4?
You like that shit? I
Hold
forgot
that closer. Let me see it again. Let me see that number.
004.
Oh, that is a 4. Okay. My eyes are like destroyed. That is awesome, man.
Yeah, my camera sucks.
No, you're good.
But yeah, number 4 of 200. And I forgot I had that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this I don't know. Let's go ahead and pull out this vinyl and see what this looks like without the glare of the screen behind it. See me.
I can see you, Jeff.
See the record. See Nick.
What's it look like on the other side?
It's the same thing. It's the same.
Yeah.
Just a little different.
Okay.
You know, black and white splatter something. I don't know. I don't think I ever played these. I think I was waiting for the pressing after this. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, these are awesome additions to my collection. Getting the European pressings was a challenge. Like, I had Marie. I'm going to mispronounce her last name. Arinya. She was she was the moderator for the one of the very first message boards I was ever on back whenever the internet was invented, or whenever it was a big thing before people had the internet in their pocket. She was the moderator for the Mudvayne message board, and I knew that she lived overseas, and she ordered the vinyl for me and then had it shipped to my house. And
hell yeah,
that was my insider connection to try to save me some shipping or something. I don't remember what the scenario with that was, but yeah, two copies of the Decade of Decapitation box set. Quite pricey. Don't want to talk about it, but I could now that my wife isn't home. I could talk about how much I paid for it, which was a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on these records. But yeah.
Those are awesome, man. I when those came out, I remember I was dealing with some things at the time, and I couldn't afford. I guess when might have been the Harvest Floor, it might have been Karma. One of those came out, and I couldn't. I had to miss out on the pre-orders, and then surprise, it showed up on my doorstep from a little stranger.
Me,
yeah.
For him.
That was an awesome gift. I appreciate that. You were helping me out in a bad time, and that was awesome. I was able to continue on with that box, although I don't think I have like the legit like American releases as opposed to what was supposed to be released, but for one of those records. But I have stuff in there, so I'm happy with what I got. That's a cool box for sure. And as we've talked about them many times in the show, we do not like cattle decapitation. They are absolutely not welcomed on this show ever.
No member of Cattle Decapitation can ever be on this show.
For some reason, we just choose to spend lots of money on those guys. Ex road crew members like Ross are absolutely welcomed on this show.
Ross, yeah. We actually had a conversation with Ross last night because we love him. If you usually work for Cattle Decapitation, you can be on the show.
Yeah. Love those dudes.
Totally.
All right, moving forward now. My next one is one of my favorite bands growing up as a teen. This was a box set that got released by Rhino Records in where am I here? 2015 by Rhino and Acco. Acco is the original releaser of all this, but this is the Pantera complete studio albums from 1990 to 2000. So it's everything from Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, The Great Southern Trendkiller, and Reinventing the Steel, all on colored vinyl. And there's a bonus 7-inch with Piss and Avoid the Light. Avoid the Light was the bonus song on the Dracula 2000 soundtrack.
I remember that. And I remember whenever Piss came out. Is that Piss colored? Ew, dude, that's gross.
I think Piss is kind of what song is it? Use My Third Arm, right?
It's off of Vulgar.
No, it's off of Far Beyond Driven. I think it's Use My Third Arm. Cowboys from Hell on White. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all of them, but this is Pantera was one of my favorite bands growing up as a kid. I was absolutely happy to grab this. I think they're re-releasing it again this year on picture disc. So
What's the Far Beyond Driven artwork? Is it the regular CD artwork, or is it the drill going in the guy's ass?
No,
Yeah. The uncensored artwork. Right on. That's the color scheme.
Yeah, Pantera was always, their albums were, their artwork was always like outgoing and crazy. This one always, as a kid, I always used to love this one. I mean, Jesus Christ, this album alone, such an underrated album. But Floods is one of my favorite songs. That solo at the end of this song. And then this was their last album that they put out, and after that, they went on to do their other things. But I love Pantera, their home videos, everything. I met all those guys. They were always very nice to me. Dimebag and Vinny were extremely nice to me. Rex was always cool. The first few times I met Phil, I guess I caught him at the wrong time, but he was the last few times I've had any run-ins with him. He's been such a cool dude, really nice guy. Happy to see Pantera's out doing it again. You and I just caught them back in November in St. Louis, Missouri. It was fucking amazing. Thanks to my good pal Jeff for hooking that up. That was I couldn't have asked for a better weekend, man. That was so fucking cool. Other than the part when he got sick at the end, but that wasn't your fault. That wasn't anybody's fault. But you're a great host, and then that concert alone was just incredible. Pantera, like I said, they were one of my favorite bands as a teenager. Like I really did enjoy a lot of their music. Their home videos were fucking. I used to sit around with friends and quote those home videos all the time. We would always say, "Are you familiar with any of those, Jeff?"
The home videos?
Yeah. Bullshit. I raised the price. we would always, boot to the cool. We would always just yell out crazy stuff like that. But I mean, like, Pantera was such a fun band, whether you like them or not, whether, people got a beef with them and whatever your beef is, that's fine. Like, I don't need to hear it. If I tell you that that's one of my favorite bands and you got to shit all over them to make yourself feel better, that sucks. But I think Adam was talking about it in his episode when he was talking about Far Beyond Driven. Like, they're a cool fucking band. They were a part of our childhood. They part of what shaped us to be the metalheads that we are, and they were a very important piece in my metal history. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And what's funny is the coinciding things that we're doing so far. I had the decade of Decapitation, and you had a decade of Pantera. Did you notice that?
Yeah. There we go. All right. And
what did we call each other last night?
we literally just randomly set this up like
we did. Weird how that.
All right. So moving forward with us coinciding here, what do you got next, pal?
We're gonna do it again. That's the shitty part about it. We're gonna do it again. Like, we planned this one though. Okay. My third box for this episode is a unique approach to a box set. This is a collection of 7-inches. I believe there are 7. I don't remember how many. I believe there are 7 7-inches in this box. But this is the complete album of Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, on 7-inches.
Fuck yeah!
It's fun. It's different singles and just a completely different approach to this album. This is, of course, the greatest band in the world, Faith No More. They released this album in 95. I don't remember what year this came out, but this box set has a couple of additional things that, of course, are not available with the standard vinyl or on the CD or whatever. Every jacket for these is not labeled. They're just blank sleeves. But on the side A of every vinyl is a couple of songs. Like, this is just a random one, just What a Day and The Last to Know, which are tracks from the album. And on the opposite side of every vinyl is an interview. with a different member of the band. And this one is, ironically, the interview with Mike Patton. But every disc has an interview with a different band member.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. And ironic, I have never listened to these interviews. Once I got the box, it went into the the catalog, the 7-inch collection, and it just stays on the box. I've never listened to it, and I should, just to hear.
Dude, I'm sure that's something you can find on YouTube.
Back in the mid '90s. The only thing about this box set that I was never sure about was this is the first album that did not feature Jim Martin, the founding guitarist for Faith No More. The band was in search of a guitarist, and Patton suggested, however this came to be, Trey Spruance, the guitarist for Mr. Bungle, plays guitar on King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. I don't know if anybody is, or not everybody may not be aware of that. I don't know. It might be common knowledge. It might be, somebody might say, holy shit, Trey Spruance played on that. He did. But in the interviews, he is not interviewed. Instead, they had a replacement guitarist perform live with them, and he was the producer of the album, Dean Menta. Dean Menta played guitar on the B-sides for the album. After the album was recorded, they did a couple of B-side bonus tracks, and Dean recorded those, and he was, like I said, also, again, producer of the album, but they interviewed him, but not Trey Spruance. Weird. Never really understood why, but still pretty cool to have, because it got the interviews with Billy Gould and Roddy Bottom and Mike Borden and, everybody else, just not Trey Spruance, which is, kind of a bummer, but still a very, very cool thing to have. This was an eBay purchase, and I believe whenever I posted on Facebook the screenshot of me actually winning the bid, Doug Brown from the documentary Slave to the Grind, Doug Brown commented that I won the bid over him. He was also bidding on this exact copy, and I outbid him.
Good for you, Jeff.
So I am the winner.
Yeah.
I beat Doug Brown. So that was kind of cool. Doug, I hope you see this. I really do. I hope, Doug, you see this, and I hope you be on the show with us, because your vinyl collection is ridiculous.
Absolutely. That dude does have a pretty ridiculous vinyl collection. What was I going to say? You could probably go on YouTube and find all those interviews, Jeff.
Interviews, I'm sure. I'm sure they're all over the internet. But just to have the physical copies, and to be able to put on the 5-minute interview or whatever it is, it'd be kind of cool. But I've just never done it for whatever reason.
We're right on. Well, moving along, in the same vein of what you just presented, a box of 7 inches for one particular album. I as well. It's kind of hard to see. I'll show you the back images. So it's the Wu-Tang Clan entered the Wu-Tang 36 chambers on Get On Down Records. But this is a very unique box, and I'm pretty stoked to show you everything that's here. I'm going to start with the actual box, the book itself. So it looks like this.
Oh, yeah.
They're all 45s. It's a book with all they're all inside of here. It's like pictures and everything.
Oh wow! Oh yeah.
Each at some point when you get to some of these pages, you pull one side. So first one's Bring the Ruckus, and then well, shame on. I'm not gonna say it. But
show's over.
The Seventh Chamber, Clan in the front. There's everything's on here, but it's like it's one song per side. Protect Your Neck, Cream, The Mystery of the Chess Box, and I love that one. But yeah, it's all in this book. Every CD, every 45. Like I said, it's a 45. I pulled that out and showed that part, right?
Yeah.
That
There's 45. But you said for the attachment, you got the
yeah.
attachment.
I'm gonna show that in a second. That's the cool part. Just in the spine of the book. But like the book, it comes in on the other side. There's a protect your neck 7-inch, and when you pop it out here, it's protect your neck. The bloody version and a song called Tears. I think it's also 45. But you know, if you have a turntable and you don't have what are those things called that go in the middle? I feel like a total noob talking about doing this show and not knowing, but
they're a thing. It's called the thing.
They give you these.
That's fucking rad, dude. That is so cool.
We're gonna get called out so hard because we don't know what these things are called. But yeah, there's two of them behind the cover, and then this 7-inch kind of just slides into place up here. But yeah,
that's rad.
A very, very nicely packaged deal by Get On Down Records. Came out. Let's see here. It's got a full album plus instrumental, lyrics, sticker. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. 6 7-inch 45 RPMs deluxe came out in 2017 on Get On Down. There's a bonus 7-inch to Protect Your Neck, the bloody version, and Tears. Yeah, this is a great album. I know the last episode I talked about their second album, and I almost talked about this in the first album, but I figured that I would do this on another episode. But
sure,
yeah, this is a very cool collection of 7 inches that form a full length of a very cool hip hop group that I absolutely loved when I was a teenager, and I still listen to this day. Wu-Tang is fucking awesome. I'm more of a big a fan of GZA. I've seen him live a couple times, and yeah,
very cool, very cool. I've never seen GZA by himself, but saw Wu-Tang the one time. I talked about in the episode a couple episodes back, but yeah, they're fun.
Most times I've seen him, he's done with like other members of Wu-Tang. The first time I saw him, he had a live band, and he performed songs off Liquid Swords with a live band, which was very, very cool to see.
Yeah, they were. He was doing that in Vegas, in one of the Psycho Las Vegas that Melanie and I went to.
That's right.
We didn't watch it for some reason. I don't remember. He was coinciding with somebody else, and I watched them instead. But.
A buddy of mine on Facebook, he ran into him and got a photo with him. I'm so jealous of that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
All right.
Moving on away from the swear to God, if you have a singles box set for the next album that you bring up, I'm going to turn off my camera because the coincidences so far have been unreal. My next box is a collection of singles for a breakthrough album from the early 90s, Nirvana Nevermind. This is a collection of 10-inch records of these singles, the big hits from Nevermind. Some of these you may have heard of. You may have heard some of these songs. Smells Like Teen Spirit. And every vinyl has bonus tracks. Like this one has the tracks Drain You, which was just the regular LP version. Even in his and Aneurysm.
I love Even in His Youth. That's one of my favorites.
I do too. I had the cassette single of this when the album came out, and Even in His Youth it still is one of my favorite Nirvana songs. And in fact, they put it on the 10-inch vinyl is just it's rad. It's also on the bonus 7-inch for the 30th anniversary of Nevermind. Even in His Youth is also on that, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Also featured in the box set is Come As You Are, and the bonus tracks on this are Endless Nameless, which is the hidden track on Nevermind, School and Drain You Live. I really should have put these on a shelf or something so it'd be easier to maneuver. Lithium, which everybody knows.
Sun.
Huh?
It's got Be in the Sun.
Be in the Sun and Curmudgeon and D7.
That was the first Nirvana single I bought. I remember my my dad as a kid took me to Tower Records, and they didn't have Smells Like Teen Spirit, but they had that. So I bought that, and it had Been a Sun on it, but it was just a cassette. I think the CD had, what was the other song?
D7 and Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon was on it, but not D7. D7 was on Hormoning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool that they featured that on there. That's good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another rarity from the Nevermind days. And then In Bloom. And the tracks on this one are Sliver and Polly live.
Huh.
Yeah. With Polly's acoustic or electric, I don't know. I think I had this. Actually, I had this 12-inch. I have the 12-inch single for In Bloom. But
really?
It's a picture disc. Yeah.
Are those colored or anything?
No, I don't think
Pull
so.
one out. Or are they just standard black?
I'm pretty sure they're just standard black.
Are they on
they're clear. No, they're black.
I was gonna say, is it a Wax Mage?
Yeah. That would be rad. Like only 5 of these boxes were pressed, and Jeff didn't even know it.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Wax Mage, Nevermind singles. That would be cool. But yeah. Nirvana being such a huge part of my teenage years, and still with Kurt hanging up over all the time. Still a huge Nirvana fan, and that is a definite necessity to have in the collection. The singles that I never listen to, but I have to have for street cred.
No, that's an awesome thing to have. I remember, like I said, I had the Lithium single. I think at some point I found the Smells Like Teen Spirit, but it was a cassette tape, and it had Even in His Youth and maybe Aneurysm, I think. But
Aneurysm was on that. I've still got the single in the living room in a cabinet. But yeah, I've got
there's different ones. I think the 7 inches also have different things on them. So
maybe
yeah, that's good stuff. Nirvana was much like, for me, I mean, they were a big deal to me when I was a kid. I mean,
absolutely.
Not enough of that to buy the singles box set, but I wish I owned it. I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my next one here is it's not a singles, but it could be. No. So you were talking about this earlier, and I said we'll bring it up later on in the episode, and I'm bringing it up. Third Man Records, they do these vault things, and you got to be a member. It's like a subscription deal. You gotta pay. I think it's $79 a month or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then you get like you get to buy stuff that they sell on this, that they choose to sell. Like Jeff got that Primus thing. This particular one was Sleep live at Third Man Records. But it was recorded direct to acetate, so meaning once it was done, they basically pressed it on the vinyl. This was a really cool release. That is there more stuff in here? Oh my God, there is. See, it just kind of shows you on the back there, like the man in the record lab pressing their stuff. Came out in 2019. It was recorded on December 12th of 2018 at the Blue Room at Third Man headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee. It comes with this poster, which I'm not going to. Whoop.
Oh, it's very cool.
Upside down.
Upside down. Even upside down, it was still cool.
Oh
yeah.
And I guess this little thing, it just tells you that it's Vault Package number 39. It came with a patch, but I used that. That's on a jacket. But each, you can see each casing's got a different picture of each member. It's Jason wearing a 930 Club shirt. I love that. Yeah.
What shirt is Matt Pike wearing? Oh, he's not wearing one. How
favorite shirt of all time. And then this one is just like the credits and all that. But each record is a different color. I'll spare you what they all look like. Here's one of them is blue. I think they did the same thing that they did with that Primus, like spread it out your basic colors and But I did the same thing. I was in I don't remember what group I was in on Facebook. It might have been like the Mastodon group or a sleep group, but somebody was just mentioning how you could basically just join this thing, pay for it, wait a few days, and then cancel the subscription so you don't have to buy the next thing. And I remember as soon as they announced the next thing, it was like a collection of what's his name, Jack White, from
with the white stripes.
Yeah, it was like a collection of stuff that he was doing, but I don't know. I love Sleep. This is I'll read down to the set list real quick. Leagues Beneath, Dope Smoker Part 1, Dope Smoker Part 2, Holy Mountain, The Clarity, Aquarian, Sonic Titan, which is my favorite Sleep song, Marijuana Knots Theme, Giza Butler, The Botanist, and Dragonaut. So I think I saw them play this set in Baltimore, maybe at the 930 Club, which is why Jason's wearing that 930 Club shirt there in the back. 930 Club. When I was starting to go to a lot of shows, like a lot of great metal shows were held there at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. And they don't do so much metal shows anymore, but it's still a very cool venue with good sound, and they take good care of the bands that come there. But I've seen them there with Neurosis and a bunch of other bands. But I love Sleep. They're a cool band. I know Third Man has put out a bunch of other stuff of theirs. Always like that one with like the marijuana leaf in it and stuff. But that's just too much for me to. I think you got to go buy it in store in Cleveland, and unless I give Jeff the money to go out there and do that for me, I'm never going to own one of those because those things are too expensive. But
I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, nor do I condone drug-like records.
No, but I could. Don't get the hell out of here. Don't you own that? If Mike Patton put out a Walter White blue meth record, you'd be all over it. You would drive to Alaska to get it.
I would walk. Run, not walk. No, very true. Very true. I actually speaking of that record that they had the pot leaf pressed into it. I was in Lawrence, Kansas a while back. I don't remember what show I was there for. I don't remember if it was Origin or Torn the Fuck Apart or what band I was in Lawrence, Kansas to see. But I saw somebody walking by that had that record, and for some reason they had the record out of the jacket and they were showing the pot leaf in the record, and I was like, "What? That's the Sleep thing," because I recognize the whole pot plant in a record, but I saw one in person. It was pretty cool.
That's nice.
I said, "Hey, you gonna smoke that?"
Come on, Jeff.
The drug jokes, they were funny. The devil's lettuce. Don't care for it. All right, wrapping up the episode on my end for this episode is one of the most extravagant, fucking biggest things that I've ever owned, as far as records and box sets, but definitely worth it. This particular album, this box set, is a collection of albums spanning the entire collection of this band's career. This was intended to be a record store day release on Black Friday in 2014, but due to production delays, it was delayed until December 16th. And whenever I break this thing out, you can probably see why it was delayed, because this thing is extravagant. It is a big deal. But absolutely one of my favorite pieces. I've listened to these albums a couple of times just because of the fact of one of the albums I only had on a picture disc, and I never wanted to play the picture disc because I just don't like the idea of playing picture discs. So I had to hear it on vinyl. I am referring to the Fantomas Wunderkammer box set, which I believe is how you pronounce it. That's how I've always said it. I don't know if that's correct pronunciation or not. Wunderkammer? I don't know. But this thing is massive. It is a huge box set, and I'll get into opening it all up here in a second. This thing is fucking rad. I'm trying to get it to where I don't have the glare of the screen on me, which is not going to happen. So, how you open this thing? This is a sleeve, like it's a thing. I don't even know what you call it, but you slide this off, which reveals it almost looks like a wardrobe, like a cabinet type thing, because it is, and it opens up.
It's incredible.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. Opens up to reveal the box, or the vinyl themselves, the records, which I'm sure I'm going to end up dropping something here before it's all said and done. This thing is in addition to the box set, to the records. This opens up to this awesome artwork.
What is that right there in the middle?
This is a cassette.
Oh, cool.
This is a cassette pressing that the glue is coming apart and has now actually come apart. Damn it! For the demo that Fantomas did, which is just Mike Patton all by himself. He did all of the songs from the debut album by himself, which Fantomas is actually Patton. It's all Patton. He writes everything. He writes all the music, and Buzz and Trevor Dunn and Dave Lombardo, they just play the parts. But everything is actually written by Patton. But it has like 75 songs on it, a bunch of songs. These are all individual tracks, but a cassette version of the demo with awesome ass artwork.
That is cool.
Yeah, the glue that doesn't stay together very well sucks.
That's an easy fix.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As far as the artwork for the individual albums, really should be very prepared for this.
No, it's all good, man.
The artwork is of course different from the actual CD released artwork. This is the director's cut. Very, very cool artwork included in all of these. Delirium Cordia is the only gatefold. It's the only double vinyl pressing. But yeah, like I said, I had to hear that on vinyl. So whenever I got it, that was the first thing I did was open up the box and listen to that. Standard jackets, nothing special about them, and the vinyl is just standard black. Nothing super crazy aside from the packaging itself and the artwork, and just it's an absolute treasure to own. These things are hard as fuck to find now, and if you do find one, they are pricey.
Yeah.
This one's not for sale. This one is mine, strictly for me to kiss, and I have to try to put this thing back together now that I've opened it up. Getting this thing on is a challenge. It is a challenge. But yeah.
Hold on. The inside looks like it's got some artwork into it. Peel that open and show that into the camera. Look at that. That's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the packaging on that thing is incredible, dude.
It is a very intricate, very awesome put together box set. And yeah, it's a prized possession for sure.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah,
it's a really cool
band. I wish one of these days we would get another Fantomas album, but as it stands, the last one that came out was 2004. We got suspended animation, and I believe that's going to be it. Unfortunately, except for the Crank 2 soundtrack. The Crank 2 soundtrack is like another Fantomas album, I think. But also done by Mike Patton. Don't watch me put this thing.
All right. Okay, I'm going to go to my last album. My last album is actually it's a Record Store Day release that Jeff, you actually grabbed for me, and I remember giving you a lot of money to ship this as soon as possible, because this was something that, for many years I had to work every Saturday of my life, and just to ask off for a Saturday just to go buy records, that my boss would have yelled at me. But this is one of many different. Well, I got a couple different versions, but probably the coolest and most unique version pressing of GZA's Liquid Swords. We were just talking about it not too long ago. This came out on Get On Down Records it's just a 2013 record store day release. What's special about this is it's a chest box inside of here. It's got a full album, instrumentals, lyrics, stickers, and full wooden chest sets, limited to 750 copies. Jeff, when you bought this from me, it was $60. I remember paying you that $60 and then giving you like another like 20 or so to ship it like instantly. When I look it up online, well, not anymore. It's not available. But when it was for sale, people were selling it for like hundreds of dollars, which I was like, damn. Let me see if I can show you. It's got a little magnetic thing here. It pops open like this. Before I spill everything everywhere. Chest pieces. Sticker sheet. Let's see. This is the full color book that's got lyrics and just art from the inside of the album, like, and then like some other stuff, like I Got Your Back promo and the sticker and all that. The one unique thing about this album on the CD and the original version, there's the final track on it's called Bible, which stands for Basic Instructions for Leaving Earth. And it's not on any of his vinyl releases, none of them. I can't find it anywhere. So hopefully someday that one gets re-released with the stuff. But yeah, this is the side A and B, C and D, and then these are just the instrumentals. But I believe this is just standard black vinyl. Yeah, it is. But let me see if I can do this real quick and show you. It's the chess sets.
Oh, the actual board.
Yeah, there's a chess board in there. So if you wanted to play, actual chess, that is in here. This is a very nicely packaged record store day dealie. Like I said, this little sticker sheet. I actually
hold on. What's on the sticker sheet? Like you always just kind of flash it.
It's just a bunch of like stuff from the album artwork, his logo, and then there's this. If you're living into the world today, lyrics.
Okay.
And then there's GZA Wu-Tang Manual 412. Tons of stuff. Different types of stickers from the artwork, little characters from the artwork, the GZA logo. I kept
the hype sticker.
Yeah, I had that sealed for a while. It's also Get On Down because they put that out, but pretty cool. One of the more unique box sets in my collection, probably the most unique one because many people say they own a chess set with their records, but yeah, I didn't open this for a long time, and then one day I popped it open just because I wanted to see what everything looked like in there, and I think there might be a color version that was like if you had to pre-order from the Get On Down website, but I've got a couple different versions of this album, and I actually have. When we do a particular episode, I have a very, very unique GZA box to show off that I got a couple years back. But this is one of my favorite hip hop albums, to be exact. I love this one actually. From my favorite of all the Wu-Tang solo albums, this was my favorite of all of them. But I do like this album a lot. I've gone to see him perform it a couple times, and yeah, he's great. He's probably like my favorite Wu-Tang member. Like yeah,
that album's rad.
Yeah, absolutely. It for some reason I don't know why they don't include that song Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth anymore. But yeah,
that's not on there. That's not on that box. No.
I don't. It's like on CDs and everything, and early releases, but it's never been released on vinyl. I don't think. I can't find it on. It's not on any of the vinyl records that I own.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I don't know if it's one of the original pressing of it or not. I have to take a look, but I don't. None of the versions I own have it.
Wow. Do you have that on vinyl at all? Is it on like a 7-inch or something? Nothing. Wow.
Mm-mm. Something I discovered a couple years ago is like looking at my one of the records I have is that's what I think might have forced me to open this one up because I was like, is it on here? But I probably could easily go looked it up on Discogs and see that it wasn't.
Right.
But yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember buying that for you. I had already gone out for record store that day and
Yeah.
a record store day, and you were like, hey Jeff, I'm looking for this box set. And I'm like, damn it, Nick, I just came home.
No, I absolutely remember you were like, I just got home, and I think you had a friend who was going out and he found it, and I was like, thank you, man, because like it was very tough for me many years ago, and even now, the job that I work, it's hard for me to ask off Saturdays. I can. They've told me recently, but I don't want to do it. I have to be there at work. I want to. Shit goes down sometimes, but
right.
I know it's coming up this year, and there's a Black Breath box set coming out. So like, I would gladly send you money if you grab that for me. But we'll talk off air about that.
I've got connections.
Huh?
I've got connections.
Yeah. But yeah, that is our box set episode. We really appreciate everybody sitting around for this one, and again, our deepest condolences to Blake Harrison's family and his girlfriend Lindsay. Today, like I said, it was terrible news to wake up to. Blake was just, especially like when it comes to Jeff and I's record collection, Blake was a huge part of that with a lot of stuff, not just Pig Destroyer, not just Hatebeak or Triac or any of that stuff. Blake helped Jeff and I get a lot of stuff that he knew that we liked. I know when I went out with him a lot, we were looking for Melvin stuff for Jeff, and that was always the thing. Like, does Jeff have? I bet you Jeff has this one. I was like, you never know.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't have everything, so.
Yeah, or Blake would deter Nick. Nick would pick something up and be like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get Jeff this," and Blake would be like, "That's a bootleg. Don't do that," or whatever. Like
he did. It's absolutely that happened, but I did that for Blake too. I'd always get him records. Like I said, I got him into Internal. He definitely passed along some records to me that he had copies of that he just was like, you should hear this, and I'm definitely going to miss that record store shopping with him. He was a fun person. He was definitely one that pushed me to go out and do it. And like, man, this is a rough one for us, but
yeah.
I love you to death, Blake. You're a great friend, and like I said, you're a huge deal to me and Jeff getting some of the records that we had in our collection.
Absolutely. You already are sorely missed. I mean, I kept in touch with Blake every now and then. I didn't see him near as much as you did. You do, living out closer to him than I do. I'm not, you're not 17 hours away from him like I am, but yeah, I miss him already.
Yeah. For sure. Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to episode 11 of Vinyl Bang. We appreciate it. We will catch you guys on the next episode.
Yep. See you guys.